So I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, least I can say I tried. So, like I say, I started off after actually first 3 months. I say I got training, then actually started realised that I wasn't going to go away. So they started training me and saying, after about 6 months, I had my first match, with in Down Mines. I think it was a bloke against a bloke called Steve Hawke. No, I tell a lie, it was against a bloke called Dave Blair. So you always remember your first match, hopefully. And yeah, it's just the adulation from the crowd and everyone cheering you, and it was just an immense buzz. And from then it was an injection of adrenaline into the system, and once it's in your blood, it's not going to go away. And so yeah, I worked for Max for quite a lot, and after a while, I ended up working for Brian Dixon on the All Star. So, and Brian started me putting on with some of the bigger names in the company, so I got to wrestle, the likes of Mal Sanders, my idol Steve Gray, Johnny Saint, and I'd also done a lot of the Kendo Nagasaki tags, which for me was a great honour at the time, because you knew that you had to be quite high up in the pecking order to do the tag with him. And with Kendo as well being such a legendary star at that time, in going into those matches, I knew how hard his matches were and how hard he was as a person as well, because a lot of people didn't realise that he was a fantastic judo player. So me and him had quite a good kinship with each other. So
what's it like as a young man going into, like, you're facing your idols? There must be considerable pressure to impress.
Oh, absolutely. Me personally, and I'll admit this, I've suffered most of my life with shyness. I'm absolutely crippled with shyness and confidence. I'm not a confident person, and I always seek, acceptance, reassurance. So for me to step actually into the wrestling world, which is such a flamboyant world, for me was a test. It was an experiment for myself, because all through school, and my teenage years, I wouldn't say boo to a goose. I could like a girl, and I always remember I liked a girl at school, and I really liked her for about 4 years. But in those 4 years, I didn't say a one word to her. And for me, I knew that I had to do something. So for me to do the wrestling, I had to be flamboyant. So to go into that sort of scenario where you've got all these big stars, you have to be, of course you're going to be respectful, but I knew I had to push myself as a person to match up to those guys. And as I said, I was really lucky, because most of the guys did speak to me after a while, because again, you've got to get accepted, and you get the once over, and you think, oh, here we go, because all you want to do is sit in the room and die, right, basically, crawl up and sort of rot away. But once the guy started speaking to me, and Pat Roach, I always remember, took me under his wing and looked after me, and I owe that guy so much. And then obviously once you get more confidence and your performance gets a lot better, you're going in that ring and you're speaking to these guys, like I say, you idolised on TV, then you realise, well, hang on, they're just ordinary people like me, They're calling me Phil, I'm calling them Pat, I'm calling them Dave, not Mr. Finley. So, once you get there, it's so much easier after a while. So, but those days were brilliant, and it helped me develop not just my character and my performance in the ring and my psychology, but it also helped me develop me as a person in life.
So as a naturally shy person, what was it like to sort of go out there and be that over-the-top character? I mean, it must have been kind of an outlet that you've been waiting for your whole life.
Absolutely. It was one of the biggest outlets, because again, how can I best explain it? It's like having a split personality. It's, I can be Phil Barham, the normal person, shy, but once I get to that ring, I know I've got to be something else. So out of the box came Phil Flash Barker. So it allowed me to be everything that I wanted to be in my normal life, but was too afraid to be. And and I had an audience, a captive audience that I could play to. And we all, actors do it. They all play different sort of images, but because of my shyness, if it was just me, I couldn't have done it. But sort of transferring in and sort of being my alter ego as Phil Flash Barker, it was no problem. And once you start getting that adulation, once you start hearing those cheers, it gets a lot easier, and you know, you find it much easier, and it starts reverting to being you as a person. So you can start taking away that confidence you are as your character, and start putting it into your everyday life.
Do you think it's fair to say you preferred Flash Barker, being Flash Barker, than you did to being your actual self?
Oh, yeah, immensely, because in the end of the day, as I said, if you look at it, plain Phil Barham got no attention at all. You know, who cared about him? But being Phil Flash Barker, you know, everyone was cheering him. He got the one attention. So what unfortunately happened was reality and fantasy, the lines between it got blurred. So I started actually being my character in real life. And the good points are great because it, you know, it gave me the confidence, but it also had the bad effect as well, where, you know, if I was portraying to be the villain, I was bringing that sense of me as well back into my real life, and people thinking, what are you doing, Phil? Why are you behaving like this? But yeah, as I said, with Phil Flash Barker being the centre of attention all the time, I wanted to be Phil Flash Barker all the time, and you know, my normal self, I just put away and hid away, basically.
Do you think it's that kind of thing that happens to a lot of wrestlers? I mean, wrestling is a profession that's notoriously hard on marriages, for example. Do you think there's a lot of people who have that problem defining their two different alter egos?
I think it's very easy to get trapped into it. In the end of the day, we're all quite we're quite, how can I say it? We all need reassurance. Most wrestlers need reassurance. You know, quite a few of them suffer with confidence, and I think, what's the word I'm looking for?
Do you think wrestling draws in insecure characters?
Insecurity, sorry, that's the word I was looking for. I mean, we are totally insecure. Well, most of us are. Some people may say they're not, but then they have to admit it to themselves. I know I was totally insecure. Again, with my confidence and being shy, I know I was totally insecure. So, as I say, being me normally, yeah, I'm totally insecure because we all, you know, everyone needs acceptance. I certainly did. I need reassurance that I was doing a good job all the time. The amount of times I'd ask people, and yeah, my wife especially, when she used to come to shows, how was my match? Did I do this right? Did I do that right? Did I do this right? And I must have absolutely bored her to tears because all I wanted to talk about was what I'd done. And that was my total insecurities coming over.